Hi everyone, welcome. We're so excited to see you.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us.
We are beyond excited to have you come join us. So we're going to wait for some folks to jump on and join us, but feel free to say hi in the comments section. Let us know what you've been up to. And Beth posted a little bit ago, to bring your shoelaces or a phone charger maybe.
Computer cord.
A vine, if you have a plant, if you need
vines
that.
They work.
Yeah, totally.
Carpet fibers, those are, but I would ask permission before you take that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can essentially tie knots with a lot of different stuff. So awesome. Jacqueline, sweet, thanks for joining.
Oh, fun day, it's Fun Day Friday.
That's right, Fun Day Friday, Mark.
Yes, nice to see you all.
Right on. Did people get a chance to catch all the different Facebook Lives earlier this week? I know Dennis did some awesome camp folklore and myths and legends, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I know there's been a bunch of recipes posted. Has anyone maybe brought some camp yumminess to their kitchens? Let us know in the comments if you've made any of the recipes. Hi, Brady and Cynthia. Nice to see you.
Yeah, I know that was the first time I actually heard the whole Weepy story, which was really cool. I had never heard that one, but the one I did know and quite familiar with was running deer.
Running deer.
Running deer.
Yes.
They're always around, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're sneaking around.
Good reminder that they kind of hop through the woods in Ashford and, running deer.
They do.
Got to make sure we're still continuing the safety, respect, and love.
Awesome. We're going to get started in just a little bit here as folks continue to join us. Awesome. Hey, Brady, how you doing?
Anyone done any of the arts and crafts that have been posted? I know the taco one was so cute the other day. I love that.
Yeah. I actually, it was so realistic. I had to stop myself from eating it. I think it was fortunate.
Yeah.
Lindsey saved me. What else? Oh, and then the sing song and the that was amazing, and the cabin chat and the camp trivia, all really awesome creative things. Mm-hmm. just like folks at camp and all of you are.
Yeah. Well, I think we're ready to go, Greg.
I think so. Yeah.
Let's jump in.
Yeah. So welcome everyone. My name is Greg. I'm the Hero's Journey Program Manager.
And I'm Lindsay. I'm the Assistant Camp Director. Nice to see you all.
And as you can tell, we've been missing camp a lot. Yes. So we decided to bring a little bit of Hero's Journey to our apartment. So we'd love to know, how are you bringing camp to where you live? We're really curious. We just happen to set up tents. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we like to do.
So we're gonna be tying knots today. So we're gonna be tying 3 different kinds of knots. So if you just joined us, please grab shoelaces or cords or twine or anything that you'll be able to tie a knot with. We want about the length of a shoelace for these knots. And
your shoelaces can be round like mine. They could be flat like a typical shoelace. Kind of anything goes for this. So.
Yeah, that's right. But why we're doing this, I think it's really good to explain. So I think with any skills that you learn, it's just one more thing to add into your toolbox. And as we kind of go through new experiences, there's always something that we're going to get from those experiences and apply to our lives. And so we all have different types of toolboxes. I happen to have mine right here. So I don't know if all of yours are quite as big as my toolbox.
Wow, Greg.
It's significant. So what do we have in this toolbox here? Let's take a look. So earlier this week, we had some cabin chat with Kate.
Nice, and a lot about mindfulness and just taking a moment to be in the present and the 5 senses.
That's right. Yeah, I took a lot from that, and just knowing yourself and where you are in the moment, I think is really important. So thank you, Kate, for that. I took that. Also, some might say this is a pot, but I'm
here
not
at
too
camp,
sure.
Though, we look at things a little differently.
That's right. If you were here earlier this week, you would know that this is not just a pot. No, it's also a drum.
Yes.
That's right. So a little bit of creativity and being adaptable with what you have, I think is amazing. So we definitely took that from Elena and Millie. Thank you. And then we have, some of you may have seen this before. This might be new to others. We got Life magazine. It's the 1988 edition of camp when it first was founded. Some great knowledge here. So Pendo, thank you so much for that camp trivia. It's so good to be able to gain new knowledge, teach yourself some new stuff, gain new perspective. I think it's why camp is such an amazing place to be, with all the diversity and perspectives and thoughts that we have here.
Thank you for sharing that with us this week, Pendo. So great. And the question of the unit colors when you walk right into the unit. What is that one again? Can you guys tell us what unit that is? You walk in. I
always forget that unit. Yeah.
Oh, yellow. You're right. Nice job.
It's a long walk.
Yes.
And finally here I have the fishing net.
For Pee-wee, right?
I might have got this from McGee, but this wouldn't necessarily catch Weepy. It definitely
more Pee-wee style.
It's more of a Pee-wee net. Yeah. And so thank you, Dennis, for all the stories. I think stories are at Heroes. I know we talk about stories, and it's such a gift to share your story and to listen to others, and such a great way to give lessons. So we love to tell stories here at camp.
Yeah.
And then we also have regular tools. Everyone needs a hammer once in a while.
In your toolbox. So
That's
practical. Right. Great. Well, thanks, Greg, for bringing along that ginormous toolbox.
And we'd love to know what's in your toolbox. So if you want to throw out the comments, what are some of the things that are in your toolbox that you like to use, and skills and things like that you picked up along the way?
Yeah, let us know.
That's right.
So the thing we're going to add to our toolbox today
is knot tying. So if you all want to grab your rope, you see Lindsey has hers right here. See, we got a nice shoelace, and I got mine right here.
Greg?
Yeah.
Okay, I got mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I got mine. Okay, we got it. Yeah. Okay, so a couple of things about knots. I want to do a little knot language real quick. So we're going to be using one side usually of the rope, and so the side we're using and working with is called the working end. Okay. The side that we're not using is going to be called the standing end, and then the part in the middle we're just going to refer to as the standing part. Okay.
Or the middle.
Yeah. You can use the middle too. And also, whenever we tie a knot, you might have tied the knot and think that it's correct, but until you dress the knot, which is making sure that the different parts aren't crossed and that all the parts are really tight together, which means the knot's really strong. Until you dress it, it's not fully tied. So there's a couple knots that we'll talk about how to dress those knots.
Great.
So just to start, the first one we're going to do is called the double overhand knot. So if you want to take your rope just like this is our working end, and you want to give yourself about a foot or so, and you want to grab one end with your fist, just like this, and you want to have your thumb out, okay? So what you want to do is you want to grab your working end, and you can either wrap it away from you or you can wrap it towards you. It doesn't matter. So you want to do one wrap, and then you want to cross it over to make an X over your thumb, okay?
Got it, yes.
And then you want to continue until it comes back to you, okay? So that's going to be 2 wraps around your thumb, and one of those wraps makes an X. And then what you want to do is you want to put this rope in where your thumb is, okay? So you remove your thumb, and you put it through where your thumb made the hole, okay? And then you pull. Awesome. So what you should get, and you kind of like tighten that up a little bit, what you should look like is something like that, okay? So you get a nice X. So some of you may not have gotten that. Some of you may have gotten something that looks a little bit more like that. And if that's the case, then all you want to do is you want to put this outside loop, and you want to just cross it back over, just like that. And that creates the X, okay? So some of your knots may look a little different from ours, just because different ropes make knots look differently. So we have this double overhand. So the cool thing about these knots is that we teach our adventure staff, so the staff that are trained and work on the tower, we teach them 9 knots, and these are a few of these knots. So some of these may look familiar to you. We're curious, where have you used these knots, or this knot in particular? Where have you seen this knot? So what do you think? Let's see. Okay, at the end of a climbing rope.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great, we call that just a stopper knot. That's kind of what that's referred to. So perfect.
Yep. At the tower, that's a great place.
Yep, absolutely.
Anywhere else that you think that you could wear this or use this knot somewhere? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. We also tie this knot just after, sometimes when you have like an extra end, after you tie a different knot, you can tie this one to kind of also act as kind of a safety knot so that the initial knot does not come undone. So cool. So this is a double overhand. And what I love about knots are that you can actually build upon each other using knots in maybe a similar family. So for this next knot we're going to be doing, we're going to be tying 2 of these double overhand knots.
Nice. And this is a very practical knot. So something that I think, so as Greg's teaching this, kind of think about where you may have seen this before, whether at camp or in your life or somewhere else. It's a cool knot to know.
Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to find one of the working ends, and then you want to find the other end. Okay, so you got both ends of your rope.
Yep.
And you want to do is you want to kind of put them parallel with each other, okay? So we have kind of one end here and one end here.
Got it.
Perfect. So it's kind of like you're making a loop, okay? And then what you want to do is just grab with either your left or right hand, you want to grab the middle of that so that you have kind of the middle of this, of where these rope ends are parallel with each other. And what you're going to do is you're going to tie that same knot, but you're going to tie it over this piece of rope, okay? So it's the same thing where you either go away from your thumb or towards your thumb, and you do two loops and you cross. The thing you have to really remember is which way you start, okay? That's critical to this knot. If you start away from you now, remember that. If you start towards you, remember that, okay? So we're gonna tie, so we're gonna do one loop over your thumb, cross, another loop, okay? And we're gonna take our thumb out and put this loop right where your thumb, put the end, the working end, right where your thumb was, okay? So what we got is we have this nice X, just like this, and it's over this rope.
And like Greg said, everyone's knots may look a little different, so mine looks a little different as well.
That's right. So essentially what you could do, which we don't want you to do, but you can kind of like slide this end one way and slide this end another way, okay? So we're not finished yet. The second part to this knot is that you want to take this and you want to just flip it around. So we're going to be doing the same thing on this other side, okay? So you're going to take it with your hand and you're going to rotate the same way that you rotated when you tied the last knot, okay? So I went away from me to start, and so I'm going to go away from me to start again.
Over your thumb.
Over the thumb, cross.
Yep.
And then end.
Through.
And you put this right through where your thumb is. So you go one loop over your thumb, cross, and then you make that X again.
Nice.
Just
job.
like that, okay? And so what you should get is when you pull both sides apart, these knots are gonna come together, and what you should have are 2 symmetrical X's, just like that. This should really kind of be snug with each other. If you don't have 2 symmetrical X's, if they go the other way, it just means that you tied the double overhand the opposite way than the first knot, okay? So has anyone seen this knot before? I'm curious. Throw in the comments, have you seen this knot before? It's a useful knot.
It's very useful.
Yeah. So what we got here? So we got
maybe a necklace.
Necklace. Awesome.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
this could be a necklace right now, actually. Put some charms on it from Arts and Crafts and we're good to go.
Yeah. So any type of loop, absolutely. This is used a lot in climbing to make what we call a Prusik loop, which is pretty cool. So loop is great. Yep, connecting two ropes to make a longer rope. That's pretty awesome. This is a very strong knot.
Yep.
Very cool. So I'm actually wearing this knot right now, believe it or not. And I don't know if you all have one of these. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But these are those bracelets that sometimes you can tie out of paracord. And so people wonder, how do you tie the bracelet so that you can adjust it and get bigger and smaller? Where this is the knot that you use for that.
Yeah.
So you can just pull these two apart to tighten the loop, or you can move the knots closer together to loosen the rope.
Cool. So practical.
That's right. So that's if you want to tie one of these bracelets, that's exactly what you do. So
awesome.
Okay, so we want to untie this knot. So we got one more final knot to go.
Yes, these can be a little tricky to untie, so take your time. I got stuck yesterday on this, so no big deal.
Does anyone have a favorite knot? I'm curious. I know there's some people who are familiar with different knots. So how about yourself? What's your favorite knot?
I just like the good old shoelace knot.
It's a very practical knot.
It really is. I use it every day of my life, and I found it very helpful since the age of 6.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No,
that's a great knot to tie. Absolutely. So, but we are going to tie one of my favorite knots, and this is actually a really important knot for the tower as well. So while we're tying this, let's see if you can remember or recognize where on the tower this knot is located. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to take just the middle or the standing part of your rope. Okay. You want to take really the direct middle, because this knot is supposed to be tied, or can be tied, when both ends are attached to something and you have just the middle to work with. Okay. So what you want to do is take the middle, and you want to take your hand, and you want to put your hand out flat like this.
Got it.
Awesome. Yep. And then you want to put your rope just kind of over your hand. And what you want to do is take this hand and give yourself a high five. That's right. Nice job.
Thank
but
you.
That's not the end of it.
Okay.
We have more to go. But that's just, it's part of tying. Gotta have fun with it. So what you want to do is you want to loop one of the ends. It doesn't matter which one. You want to loop this around your hand once. Give yourself a little bit of slack. So, and then you want to round it twice. So you have three loops on your hand. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to take the loop that's closest to you, and you want to put it over the second loop. Okay. And you want to keep it there. Then you want to take the loop that's now closest to you and put it over all of the loops and back in where your hand was. Okay. So you can just kind of grab that with that hand and you pull it through. Okay. And so then I'm just pulling these two ends down. I have the loop still in my hand. And you might think this is the end of the knot, but it's not. It's not the end of the knot. There's going to be plenty of puns in this episode. So we're going to be pulling these two ends apart in order to dress the knot, okay? So this knot is called an alpine butterfly. It's one of my favorite knots.
Very fancy name, too.
It is. I love alpine and I love nature, so this works well. And so what you want to have it look like is this nice kind of symmetrical. These kind of look like butterfly wings. I think that's maybe why it's called that. I'm just going to assume that's why it's called that. So it looks symmetrical. And the cool thing about this is that when you load this rope, so this rope is holding weight, it doesn't really matter if it's holding it from this end or this end or this end. It's all about kind of, it puts equal amount of force anywhere you put it. So it's a really practical knot for a lot of different things. Does anyone, what are some of the ways that you would use something like this? Or have you used something like this? We'd love to see that in the comments here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that someone mentioned that this may be a little confusing or that they may need to rewatch this video. And that is such a good point, that this will be available on our website or on our Facebook page. So feel free to rewatch this video and pause it and watch it step by step, as that can kind of guide you through this process.
Yeah, it's a great point. So knots are really tough to master. And once you do, they are very, very useful. But it does take practice, just like anything. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time and helped to train the staff. So, but I'm curious, what do you use this for? I see one comment here about hanging gear. This is the perfect thing to hang gear with.
When you're camping, maybe?
When camping, we do it all the time at Hero's Journey. Yeah. Absolutely.
What if this was hung somewhere? Could you step in it maybe?
You could. This is strong enough to step in. Wow. Absolutely.
That's cool.
But you just want to make sure that if, we're not stepping too high, okay? So these knots, you want to make sure that we're being safe with these. Mm-hmm. Also, does anyone recognize where this is on the tower? I know I mentioned that beforehand. Maybe in a location where you can grab something with your hand and pull. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think someone at the team fly down at the tower. Nice job. Absolutely.
So so when we have the people on the haul rope for the team fly, this isn't what they grab, but this is what the H-ray or the long thing with all the handles. That's what we attach to these. So you're gonna see a lot of these on that rope. So very cool. So this was the last knot that we are tying here. So now you have 3 different knots that you know how to tie, which is pretty cool. So you can untie this.
Can we review the names of those again?
Absolutely. So we have the...
The first one was the stopper.
Well, the double overhand. Which
yeah.
also is actually a stopper knot as well. Absolutely. A lot of terms. The second one is called a double fisherman's knot.
Yep.
And the third one is called... Alpine butterfly.
Nice.
That's right.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Nice job. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it's fun tying knots with all of you. We absolutely love all the camp love going on here. Mm-hmm. We definitely feel it through all the comments. And we also want to give a nice shout out to the program team. So you all did such a fantastic job this week in using Facebook Live. So we're super proud of you. Great job. We're so happy to be part of this with all of you. I do think we actually have the last thing, a really important announcement. So you have the really important announcement, right?
From where?
From Carlo. I don't know if you saw them up in the corner there.
Oh.
But that's let me see here. That's
Carlo. Wait, was he there the whole time?
The whole time. Carlo was there the whole time.
Oh wait. Hey Carlo. Oh, whoa.
That's right. We have
a really important announcement. Oh, what does this say? Whoa. Dear Camp family, next week's Camp's Facebook Live is coming to you care of camp and parent programs. Tune in to watch them explore the great outdoors, cooking, crafts, and so much more. Fun for all, for the whole family, and not one, but 2 special Facebook Live videos for all the camper parents out there. The schedule will be posted on Monday, and we are so excited to see everyone next week.
Very cool. We're really excited for that, and we can't wait to tune in. So go get them.
Yeah, let's
outreach team.
Let's close out this week with a huge cheer of thanks to our founder, Mr. Paul Newman.
That's right.
If you happen to have your pot sitting next to you, or any type
drum?
Or drum, I'm sorry, or if you have any other musical instrument, or your shoelace could even be part of the cheer of thanks. So let's head into the weekend. Oh, this camp's been good to me.